Here's an example of a monthly follow-up meeting. The first thing the manager is going to do is to find the goal for development, the objectives of this particular meeting, and also if the goal is important enough to make the effort reaching it. Goal, objectives. Discover the long-term goal and the objectives for the meeting. When you look at the results from last month, what is most interesting for you?
That I managed to reach my goals even though it was higher than the previous month.
Why is that the most interesting?
Because I can continue to improve.
What would you like to have more clarity about when our meeting is over?
How I can continue to keep up the momentum. My energy is decreasing at the moment and it annoys me.
So what are your specific objectives for today?
That I get my energy back.
What will that mean for you?
That it will be more fun to go to work.
On a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest, how important is this for you?
10. I love to feel the adrenaline and I love being the best.
Now we know the goal for development, the objectives of this particular meeting, and also if the goal is important enough to make the effort reaching it. Now it's time to discover past and present successes and challenges. Reality, the situation. Discover successes and challenges in the past. Your result for the past month was 50,000 and your goal was 40,000. How did you get the 50,000?
I was on a trade fair and worked very hard to find the right decision makers in order not to spend time on those that do not have decision power.
How did you do that?
I asked them directly whether they can make decisions and if not, who can. This way I got a name to call and I could send regards from the person I met at the trade fair.
What was the difference that made the difference?
I made a choice to test my questions and I discovered quickly that the customer was not insulted. That was a relief.
Well done. What more was successful for you?
I've managed to reduce the complexity in our contracts, which have made it easier and faster to fill in and more easy to understand for the customer.
What did you do to make that possible?
I took the time to write a suggestion to the lawyers of how it could be, and the contract template was instantly changed.
What more have you done differently in the past month?
I think that's it.
Well done, and congratulations on your success.
Thanks.
What has been challenging for you in the past month?
Writing the contract. It still takes too much time.
How come it takes too long time?
I think it's important that the contract is correct, so I spend a lot of time on it.
When you have given the task to the administration, how many times have they failed you?
Once, but it was a long time ago, and since then I have not given them a task.
If I tell you now that the others never complain, what do you think?
That I may have to consider once more.
If you decide to trust them, what will be your benefit?
That I can spend time on what I really enjoy doing.
And
Get even better results.
now we know what works already and which is the foundation for future development. We also know which challenges to deal with or avoid in the future. Now it's time to discover the options and opportunities leading to activities going forward. Options, opportunities, and choices. Discover what actions are desirable. What would you like to strive for in the coming period?
I want energy to be able to continue the good trend I am in right now.
What do you need to do?
I need a larger personal challenge and payment for it, of course.
What could that challenge be?
I don't know.
When following you, I have noticed that you are good at teaching. If I gave you a larger responsibility for the team's overall result, where your responsibility is to let others learn from you, what would that mean, given that you get acknowledgement for it?
I would say, when can I start?
How do you want to get started?
I think we should train together.
And how do you want to do that?
I'll ask the others to set aside 2 hours every Monday morning for training.
That sounds great. I'll support you on that one. And what more do you want to do more of?
I will continue to find the right decision makers.
What would you like to do less of?
I will consider whether I should trust the administration to write my contracts. I will give the next 2 and then assess the matter from there.
What would it mean for you?
That I had more time to train and teach.
It sounds good. And what can be challenging for you?
That I have too little time for all the possibilities.
What do you need to do in order to deal with it?
I have to have trust to the administration to handle their job.
Now that you have convinced yourself to trust the administration, what will it mean for you personally to succeed with your customers and training and teaching the others?
That means everything. I can't stand not winning, and now I have to win with the team too.
Now we know the options and opportunities leading to activities going forward. Now it's time to discover how much willpower there is to actually execute the decided activities and plan the details. Will, desire, ensure commitment and action. So what is your first easy step?
To give the administration the 2 contracts laying on my desk.
And what more?
To continue finding the right decision makers.
What will be your first difficult steps?
To find out how to train the team and get them to accept me.
What kind of support do you need?
Nothing for now besides from the administration.
What is your proof that you're on track to achieve your goals?
That I can see the team's results improving and that I regain my energy.
What would you do if you see the results are not as expected?
I will run faster and prioritize customers and training even more.
How will you celebrate your successes?
I think you should celebrate me when my personal result is over 40,000 and again when the team's results are living up to the expectations. What will be my reward for increasing results?
I have to think about that, and I'll come back to you no later than Friday noon. Is my guess all wrong if I say it may have to do with the Ferrari show coming up later this year?
No, you are not wrong at all.
So what are you on your way to achieve?
A ride in a Ferrari, maybe?
Now there is a clear plan for how to get started, what to do and how to follow up. Now it's time to compare the objective of the meeting with what have been achieved. How satisfied are you with what we have achieved today compared to the objectives of the meeting?
I am very satisfied. I've gained new energy and I'm ready to get started on my new task.
Now the manager knows how to continue the development and it is time to let people work with what they have decided. There's room for more detailed questions in this dialogue to bring even more ideas forward. You as a manager are the game master and controls which questions to ask. Perhaps you're thinking, well, what about the other employees now that this one is getting a reward? Yes, what about them? What can you and your company gain from employees who are dying to increase results? This employee is motivated by incentives, like the Ferrari ride, but not everyone is motivated by that. If you want to work with recognition that costs money, you must know what you are allowed to do within your company, what you want in return and how the employees are motivated. Enter the leadership path Lead and Manage Teams to learn more about incentives as a performance management tool. Learn also about incentives free of charge. The sentence, now that you have convinced yourself that you are able to do, how do you want to do it, is a way of shifting focus from do I want to do it to how can I do it. This way you hold the employee accountable to move forward and take actions. When leading and managing people in this structured way, you need to know what drives each person to ask even more powerful questions. The faster you trigger the person's drivers, the faster you get actions and high performance. Enter the leadership path Lead and Manage People to learn more about how people are different.